When you think of ethnic cleansing, you probably don't conjure up the image of Tobermory Bay on the Isle of Mull. You probably never for a minute think of the beauty of the tranquil Isle of Iona. And yet these are the places that I'm taking you today to talk about the ethnic cleansing of James VI. If you're interested in the people, places and events in Scottish history, then click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen. In the meantime, let me tell you a story. In the autumn of 1608, a group of island chiefs were invited to a religious service on board a ship out there in Tobermory Bay. On the ship, they'd hear a sermon by Andrew Knox, the Bishop of the Isles. But when they got to the boat, what they actually heard was the Eagles playing Hotel California, because they could never leave. In fact, they were taken to Edinburgh and held under confinement until they agreed to dismantle their very way of life. So how did we get here? James VI had no time for the Gaels. He saw them as barbaric. He saw their language as barbaric, their oral culture, their traditions. But I'm guessing that what upset him most was that each clan leader had men at arms and they didn't pay their taxes. There was also inter-clan warfare, and when there wasn't inter-clan warfare, then many of these island warrior clans had been hired out as mercenaries in Ireland, fighting with the Irish against Elizabeth of England. Now, James had turned a blind eye to that, but now that he was King of England, he'd bought himself a new pair of specs. If there was going to be warfare, then he should control it. The confidence gained by having men at arms is probably why the chiefs hadn't paid their dues to James in the first place. I mean, if I had an army, I don't think I'd pay my council tax. In their own lands, they felt safe from royal authority. James knew that, and hence the subterfuge of hospitality on the boat and come and hear the preacher. What James really wanted was much more draconian. James had already activated colonisation schemes to replace Gaels with Lowlanders in Kintyre and Lewis, and was in the process of the de-Gallicising of the north of Ireland. Now, I've made videos about Lewis and the north of Ireland, and there'll be links to them at the end. But there had also been failed plans for colonisation of Uist and Skye. With the addition of England to his investment portfolio, James was more powerful than he'd ever been, and it seemed no less determined to wipe out the power, authority and way of life of the clan chiefs, or as James would have put it, persuade them to become civilised good citizens. If I understand the timeline correctly, then in spring 1608, a commission had been set up to implement James's requirements. Now, his planned method of persuasion, a proper military expedition to the Isles to bring the chiefs to heel. They would be answerable to James's laws, submit to his courts. They would hand over all their castles to the crown, destroy their warships, be forbidden from carrying arms, accept reduced land holdings, and send their children to be educated in schools in the lowlands. And everyone would conform to the religious practices of the state. Effectively, the dismantling of their social and power structure. Now, the only reason that James didn't get his way was that the Convention of Estates weren't prepared to fund such a military expedition. And so, in autumn 1608, would you like to come out on my boat and talk to the minister? Now, they're in Edinburgh. Now, James wasn't there. He was down in London, but his instructions were clear. Crush their power, dismantle their retinues, and anglicise them from the top down. Oh, and get them to pay their parking fines. Now in November, after having been stuck in Edinburgh for a while, the clan chiefs said, OK, we admit it, we were illegally parked. But it was only a single yellow and it wasn't clear what the restrictions were. How about we promise to be more careful in future and you let us go back to our lands, because there's no telling what those young uns will be up to back up there in Tobermory, I mean, those young scallywags could be parking in disabled bays and everything by now. Oh, no. Do you think we're buttoned up the back? You're going nowhere. The following February, they said, so, what if we pay our fines and you don't clamp our car? Basically, the chiefs had offered to pay their taxes and follow James's laws, but not to dismantle their way of life. The commissioners said, sorry mate, it's more than my job's worth. One way or another, hostages taken for surety, they were eventually released. Tell me this, do you watch these videos for the scenery? I'd be interested to know in the comments section, how important are the locations for you on a scale of 1 to 10? It'll help me decide on locations for the future. This is the beautiful island of Iona. And around a year after that initial abduction off Tobermory, and after a show trial where the MacDonald heir of Donegal had a conviction for treason dangled over his head, Bishop Knox arrived here with a negotiating committee to meet the Southern Hebridean chiefs. It was here that were agreed a set of 9 statutes that would resonate down the years. Now, just before I give you the statutes, I recently had a fantastic chat with Dr. Martin McGregor, Glasgow University's lecturer in Highland culture. Martin was part of the team who produced the free online course about Scottish clans. It's called the Scottish Highland Clans Origin, Decline and Transformation. You'll find it on Future Learn, and I'll leave a link in the description. I spoke to him for this month's conversation with experts. We chatted for more than an hour and a half about clans, Highland culture and the statutes of Iona. He was brilliant. And if you want a more in-depth, nuanced explanation than I can give you, then click on the white tab, become a Patreon member and hear what Martin had to say. What the chiefs signed up to was 1. Churches throughout their lands with the same ministry, discipline and observance as in the lowlands. You can see the bishop was in the negotiating seat. 2, as a replacement for Highland hospitality culture, inns would be set up in all the islands for the accommodation of travellers. 3, chiefs would limit their household retinue. Now both bards and men-at-arms would be key targets here. 4, no billeting of the Lord's soldiers upon the tenantry. I bet the MacDonalds of Glencoe found that ironic. 5, a ban on importation or sale of wine or whisky. So people in Tobermory would have to make their own. 6, every gentleman with more than 60 cattle had to send his eldest son or daughter to school in the lowlands and brought up to speak English. 7, the ban on guns was to be strictly enforced. 8, wandering bards are to be apprehended, put in the stocks and expelled from the islands. 9, the chief of every clan is responsible for enforcing these laws and delivering malefactors to a competent judge to be dealt with. These statutes would change the very nature of island society, and for many years they've been a key milestone in the road to the loss of culture of the Gael. In the conversation that I mentioned with Martin McGregor, we had a really interesting discussion on the balance between imperialist imposition on the one hand or indigenous autonomy on the other. It seems to me that ethnic cleansing isn't just about moving people off their land, but denying them the culture in which they live. Like James, you might think that their culture needed to be extirpated. I still meet Scots who think that. In so many of these stories, somebody thinks that they're civilising and improving while somebody else is having change forced on them, for good or for ill. Now, the reason I think that this resonates is that it's not history, it's life. Wherever that balance lay here, there was coercion somewhere, if for no other reason than for the first time ever, island chiefs recognised that their authority came down from the king and not up from the people. I think the bards might have had something to say about that, if they could. If you want to know more about the ethnic cleansing of James VI, then there's another video coming up on screen now. In the meantime, Ha mé an dóchas gon bí lámálainn. Chéir an drasta.